Hi, and welcome to the introduction video on Adia. This is our Adia Hub. In your package, you'll also have our Adia flow balancing valves and temperature sensors, which go into every room. Today, we'll just be talking through the hub, how to install it, what all the main parts are, wiring, the basics of everything. Just a quick overview. We've got 5 pipes on the bottom here. These 2 pipes are the flow and return to the heat pump. These 2 are the flows to the domestic hot water and central heating. And this is a teed return, a shared return from both. Inside the unit, just a quick tour, pump, class 2 heat meter, and an SB diverter, as well as our main control unit and the wiring center, which we'll be going through in detail today. So when you get the unit out of the box, you're going to have a mounting bracket, as well as a guide template, which you can use for positioning the unit. This is a scale printout of the unit, which you can use to size up where you're going to put it on the wall. So we'll just get into that. I'll show you mounting and hanging the bracket. It's very simple. So I've got my bracket on the wall now, and I'm ready to hang the unit. There are 2 tabs that hook over, and it simply locks down like that. Easy as that. So just a few notes on piping up. When you receive a unit, all of these pipes will be labeled up just for ease of reference and a reminder as you go. Really, there's nothing too complicated about this, just a few notes. Specifically this unit, this is our secondary return. We'd like the filter that normally goes on the return to the heat pump placed here. This means that any gunk coming back from the system, not only is it protected from going back to the heat pump, but it also protects all of our equipment as well. As you're moving along these, try not to apply too much torque or twisting to these. If you're applying compression nuts, for example, we don't want any of these nuts inside to start coming loose. And if you can avoid also cutting these too short, especially this one, we want to make sure there's a good length of distance to make sure that this heat meter is nice and accurate. Another thing to bear in mind while you're doing this is that we've got cable glands here provided. So later when you're wiring up, you might want to actually bring the wires through these cable glands just to keep them nice and tidy. So you might want to be thinking about that as you're putting your pipes in place. When you get everything installed and piped up, or before then, there are actually 3 accessories in the box that we just need to be installed. They're just kept out of the way for transit, just to keep things nice and safe. So the first are 2 antennas. The first one is the Wi-Fi antenna. It has the larger connector on the end of it. So that just goes onto this connector here. You can't get these the wrong way around. The connectors are unique. And the other is the antenna, which is for communicating with the FPVs and ATSs around the home. And that goes into the right-hand port here. So hopefully you can see that. As you get these installed, it's worth thinking about where's the Wi-Fi router, where the device is going to be around the home. The long edge of this is the best way to transmit. So maybe if there is a Wi-Fi repeater on the same floor, you want to keep it this way. But if it's upstairs, you might find something like this gives you better reception. Similarly, with this antenna for communicating with the FPVs and the ATSs, depending upon where you're installed, you might want to move this around just to make sure you get the best reception possible. After that, we can get into the AAV. Pretty standard AAV. Comes with a rubber, so you don't need any kind of plumber's tape or PTFE. Straight in the top here, just till it's firm. And when you start to purge, the nipple on the top can just be released and then tighten once you're finished. The last accessory is the Shelly, or the energy meter. You need to have this installed in the fuse board typically. Probably best to give this to the electrician when on site. This is just used to measure the performance and electricity usage of the heat pump and allow us to optimize its performance. So get that installed and follow the instructions in the manual to get it onto the Wi-Fi, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're going to get into wiring now. So just a quick overview. We've got the power to the unit here with a built-in fuse. This is like a small razor fuse, fused to 2 amps. We've also got, from there, we've got the Modbus connection, which is installed on most units. That's these 2 connections here, which are labeled. If you're going for plate loading, that's the next 2 across. We'll get into some of the details around that. Sometimes a temperature probe is useful to be added to the cylinder. We don't require one, but if you're adding one, that's those there. And last but not least, we have a general port. Specifically, this would be used, for example, for a Valent integration, but there may be other devices that you need to use this for in the future.